and welcome to That Squirrel Speaks. Today is Tuesday, October 29th, and this is episode 85. How are you? I am your hostess, Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel in Ravelry, or That Squirrel, SQRRL, on Instagram, and Twitter via Instagram, which means I don't read Twitter, but I do post my things there. Hi, how are you? I already said that. Oh, I still am curious, though. Mm-hmm. That's good to know. Today I have no shenanigans, but I have lots of stuff to show you. And we have lots of prizes to give away. We have come to the end of our Squirrel It Away or Unsquirreled Way. I guess it's really the most appropriate name, but let's face it, Squirreled Way is much more festive. Cow, sow, wow, mow, jow, jow. So I will be giving prizes at the end of the episode in case you're not interested. But if you are, that's what I'm giving them. We have some shenanigans, but they really weren't like story worthy. We went to Zubu, which was very exciting. Actually, it was not that exciting, but it was exciting for my 6-year-old. She was super excited. So she got to do, she likes to think of it as her trial run for Halloween. You know, get a dry run in. She's got full costume. It's full dress rehearsal, basically. She's always disappointed about how little candy there is because, hi, it's Zubu. It's not like actual trick-or-treat. And they have to give those candy. It's like for like 3 or 4 weekends, and there's a billion children there. So I tried to explain to her that that's a lot of candy they actually give away. Just that her percentage of it is quite small. Also, oh my gosh, it's so sad for her. This year she was too tall to go in the bounce house. She's a giant. I told her they would probably let her in anyway if she just was like, I mean, she was like dressed as a vampire, so that kind of cuts down on the cuteness, but she had a wig on, which really, she rocks a wig. Let me just discuss. She should be on Instagram. I post a picture. What was I saying? Oh, but I was like, because they have like the little, and I was like, well, you could sludge a little bit. And she was like, no. So instead, I bought her a cookie. I know, right? I'm a fat mother. I never let her buy. They have like that like cookie blank that then you decorate, and I never let her have it. 'Cause it's like $3.50 for a cookie. Oh, I'm such a tight one. But I felt very bad that she could not do the bounce house, so I bought her a cookie. She's not really my daughter. She only ate half of it. She's really my daughter, but she's also my husband's daughter. Thank goodness for her, right? Anyway, so limited shenanigans. But let's get into it, yo! Because last week we didn't talk about any knitting and spinning, and now there's like mountains of insanity surrounding me. Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. Okay, but you know what? From now on, we're just going to say that you might find the episode on Wednesday. I'm terrible. In my mind, for the longest time, I was so good at recording on Mondays. Now I'm awful. This time I actually have a real excuse. My computer got this ice virus. Have you heard of this? So I went to turn on my computer. Thank goodness I had printed all of my shipping labels for my bags. Thank goodness. Because I would have totally had a meltdown. But I go in the morning, because I was the morning that I was actually shipping everything out, I went in to go do my international bags. Because usually I do those on the computer, but I usually do them a different day because whatever. I just do. So, this is partly shenanigans, I guess. But I went into the computer to do that, and I opened up the computer, and it had this crazy thing on it that was like, ICE, internet security, you have done something wrong. And it had like the camera where it showed me in my like pajamas, like all, there were no lights on in the room, so it was just like me looking real grainy, like I had been doing something really wrong. Totally mugshot. And then it had like a countdown timer that was all like, your computer will explode if you don't give us $300 for this fine in the next 48 hours. We're watching you. And it had all this like official, I mean, clearly it was bogus, but they were clever because obviously bad people. They had like all of these like official looking logos on them. Like there were logos sponsored by like all of these corporate sponsors. Okay. Corporate sponsors are not sponsoring the Internet Security Act. Okay. I don't know what that's saying, but they're definitely not sponsoring it. But it did look very official. And I could see how somebody who was scared might be like, ah! But I was just like, you bums! I got very mad at them for using their cleverness for such diabolical means. That's right. I'm looking at you, bad internet people. Don't do that. I'm just a person. Go mess up corporations. Bring down the man. Don't bring down me. The man's bringing me down. Bring down him. Anyway. So I couldn't do anything. Like, at all. I even tried to do clever things. No, clever things stomped on. Like, I went in to try to do, like, a different thing. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just get a DOS prompt. No, not even a DOS prompt. What? No DOS prompt. DOS is bad. Anyway, luckily we have a very clever internet lady that we take things to. Well, she's not clever internet. She's a clever computer person. She works out of her home, which makes me very happy for her. And she's very reasonable. Anyways, we took it to her and she worked her magic-y magic. But I didn't have it back in time to record on Monday. I had all good intentions. Failed. Anyway, I got some stuff done. So that's what happened. I know, right? It was very affordable to get fixed, don't worry. But I hope that doesn't happen to you, but it was very crummy. Made me very angry. So anyway, well, I was like, where was I going with that story? Nowhere. That's where I was going. There was no point to that story except to say, sorry, I'm a little bit late. But you expect that, right? Anyway, I have lots of knitting and spinning to show you. Let's start with spinning. Okay, you may have recalled millions of years ago when we last talked about knitting and spinning on our knitting and spinning podcast. I was spinning some CVM Rommeldale. Which that's the same thing, but they just say either or. I guess it's not technically. It's the same thing, right? Or a CVM's a subset of Rommeldales. Maybe that's what it is. Whatever, CVM Rommeldale. And I had gotten this off the internets from Winter Wind Farm. They have a website, winterwindfarm.com, but I believe I just got mine off of Etsy. So it might be that Frenchy thing. I'm not sure on Etsy. But I'm sure if you go to winterwindfarm.com, it'll tell you. And I highly recommend this roving. This was roving, but it was sweet. Sweet roving. There was like no vegetable matter in this at all. At all. I don't know if they do that scary thing where they like set it on fire. There was so little vegetable matter, I almost am afraid that's what they did. Either that or they didn't just like jacket their sheep, they turtlenecked them and socked them too. Maybe that's what they do. Let's hope. If they do set this on fire, it's still amazingly soft. Look at my big fat ball. This is 8 ounces, and I spun this as a 3-ply in a long draw method, and it is awesome. Oh, spinning when you're good. You're so good. It smells so good, by the way. So, what do I need to say? That's probably all I need to say, really. I go like 475 yards or something. Yes, 475 yards. So it's probably like an Aran weight. Do I check these things? Yeah, that's all I did. Not very much twist in the single, lots of twist in the ply. Was rough with it when I washed it and thwacked it, because I whacked it. It's fun to thwack 8 ounces at a time because it, especially for some reason, the woolen spun really holds a lot of water. Because when you thwack it, the water just goes everywhere. I feel like there needs to be some like super high speed film of that because it would be very exciting to our very small subset of humans. Anyway, so there it is. I totally dig it. Okay. I think it needs to be a cowl. What do you think? I think that's what it needs to be. It is soft. It is not like merino soft, but it's definitely, this is awesome. I would wear this even in my armpits. It's just like a different amount of, it's like a different soft than the merino. It's not like, well, for one thing, it's woolen spun. So it's not, there's a little bit more halo-iness about it than worsted spun, which is mostly what you get in merino. It's not all slickery soft. You know what I mean? It's like baby lamb soft. Merino sometimes doesn't really feel like it's an animal. Right? Do you feel me on that one? It doesn't feel real. It's so soft that you're like, this is not really an animal. It is. I'm not trying to like bring down the merino association. I know that's really an animal, but sometimes it just doesn't seem like it is. This definitely came from a sheep, but it's super soft. I love it. So I think that's what it needs to be. Oh, I'm totally wearing a hat. I forgot to mention, it's the Berry hat by Lethal Knits. And it's made with random hand spun. Don't ask me about the buttons. They're a fail. I mean, they still are serviceable. I look like a hot mess, but you know, you're still. So anyway, so that was so fun. I enjoyed that very much. So I hadn't been spinning very much at all. And then this week happened. Okay, because I went to the Rhinebeck with the folks. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Rhinebeck, I'm trying to show you this. Oh, wait, it's hooked on something. That's the reason I forgot to show you too. Because I hooked it on something so I wouldn't forget, and then I forgot. Malia told me this cute little notion pouch. Isn't it cute? It's from Friday Studios. Do you see what it has on it? That's right. I'm the apple lady. I love me an apple. So this is cute, like a little notions pouch. It's like those change pouches when you were a kid. You can be like, boop, oh, where's my notions? Oh, they're in this cute fruity interior. That's where they are. There's Malia's podcast, yarnraising.com. She had buttons. I didn't. I forgot. So isn't that a cute little thing? It has little ribbons so you can hook on stuff. And again, it reminds you of a change purse when you were a kid, which is the best part of it all. Maybe apples are best too. I don't know. It's all awesome. So then, speaking of Malia, she was knitting on those hand-spun socks. I've really wanted to do the hand-spun socks, but I'm be honest with you, I've been very intimidated by getting a 3-ply that's fingering weight-ish. Like, I didn't even care if it was kind of sport. It was fine. But I was just very intimidated by it. I did it! Oh, I did it! This is Into the World in the Superwash BFL, the Aurora Borealis colorway. I totally did it. I made yarn that I can make socks into. I'm so excited. So, it's my first ever sock yarn. I'm so afraid that I'm going to knit it and wear it once and there's going to be a giant hole in it. I'm so afraid. But I just got to do it, right? Because I got to figure out if I did it right. I think technically I probably, while I was plying it, I really thought I was putting so much twist in it that it was going to be ridiculous. I didn't. It's actually, like, when it's in the skein, it's totally it has no, what is that? It has no potential energy. But, so I think I could have plied it a little bit more and it might be more successful. I'm going to turn on the zoom just because I want to show off my sock yarn, which is really not good if you're good at spinning, but it's good for me. So, focus. Oh, see, that's not very exciting though. It just looks like shininess. It's really not shiny. Lighting. Why must you be so evil? But so I got about 300 yards, and in case that's not enough to do a pair of socks with for me, which I believe it will be, because typically I only use about 3/4 of a ball. But I have another 4 ounces of this fiber that I can spin up like a oopsie factor. I'm so excited. So again, I live in fear. I'm going to knit these and then instantly they're going to wear out. But oh, please don't. How did I spin this? I didn't do the fancy striping thing because I really felt like I could not chain ply these singles and not kill myself, which I'm glad I didn't do because I did have a little bit at the end that I chain plied. It was very stressful. But I split the top into thirds. So I had 3 chunks, right? I spun 1 chunk as it was. I split 1 chunk in half and spun it that way. And I split 1 chunk in 3 and did it that way. Because I didn't want it to be really like I didn't want it to be real stripy. I just wanted it to be all this way. So we'll see how that works out. There's definitely going to be stripiness in it because there's certain sections that are much bluer and certain sections that are much, what do we call that color? Tealishy-er? Oh, I hope it works out. I'm so proud of myself. Anyway, so that's that. Then, because I bought so much into the world, and also just because the bug got me, the spinning bug got me, I started to spin some of my Godiva fibers. I got a bunch of her Falkland. And so this is the, here's what they're, and they don't have colorway names. Like this one is called Falk 0712. And like if you really need to know what this one's called, I can look it up at Etsy, but I don't really think she does repeatable things. But she did donate a prize for a podcast. So we're going to do this. This is 4 ounces on one bob, and I'll do 4 ounces on another and just do a 2-ply. They're not the exact same colorway, but they are very the sisters. I don't even know if they're sisters from another mister. I think they really are sisters. So this is very fun to spin. It's Falkland. It is wonderfully sticky. I love to spin sticky wool. So this one I am obviously spinning much thicker. This will be like a Aran to bulky probably. Because I would say the singles are at least a sport weight. Isn't it pretty? I've really enjoyed it. It's like that beautiful, it's actually very appropriate for this time of year. It's like the time when the leaves have all fallen off the trees. We still have some leaves. But then they're like all laying around in the gutters and they're looking kind of faded out and it's raining on them. That's exactly what color it is. My colors. So, that's all that. That's all the spinning. Now let's talk about knitting. I have knitting finished objects. One finished object I don't have with me because my child is wearing it. But I took a picture. I tried to be a good podcaster. I finished the little sweater I was making her out of the Ann Budd sweater book. Just the handy book of sweaters. That's what it's called. It's not the best picture, but it was we were inside and it was before the bus came, so it's not very good lighting. But there it is. No, she's not wearing a head knit hat. Betrayer. But there it is, and it is knit with Barocco Vintage, the one that's like 50% wool, 40% nylon, 10%, hopefully not baby seals. I don't remember. But it's the worsted weight one. And I knit it on US 4s, I believe. And it has a zipper in it. Do you see that there's a zipper in it? Now here you can't tell, but in real life that zipper looks totally orange. Oops. It's really a red zipper. And we went to get the zipper. I even told her, I said, maybe you should get like a contrasting color zipper. And she was hard about this. She wanted that red zipper. Who can blame her, really? But really, when you put it in with the red sweater, it totally looked orange. It does look orange, but not in this picture. Anyway, so there's that. I finished it. Yay! Fits her like a dream. Fits it perfect. And then I also finished, and by the way, this is 2 weeks of finishing things. I didn't even tell you what I finished last time. Oh, there was a pair of needles in there, and I was like, did I really not finish? I did. Just left my needles in there. This is my project bag from Tangerine Designs. Isn't that cute? Yeah. This is my yarn from Kirby Werby. So cute. You gotta watch that Suburban Stitcher episode. For that alone, she and the Knotted Bag both do like the glamour shot. They're talking about their stuff, like the other people are talking about their stuff. And so when they talk, they do like the glamour shots thing. So cute. So this is how much I have left. See, I can totally make a pair of socks at 3 yards, right? And I believe this is a 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon, but I don't have the tag because I am a terrible human. Look at my socks. This is the Groovy Socks pattern, which is available for free, and it's super easy. If you want something different to do with your self-striping, I highly recommend it. I just did an afterthought heel, because that's how I roll. Sorry, I should have brought blockers so you could really see how cute it is. But I have enjoyed knitting these little socks so much. Did I say it's called the It's Fall Y'all colorway? My colors. Oh, so cute. And I tried them on and they fit wonderfully. This pattern is excellent. It is a little bit, because it's got a little bit of a, it's got some give to it. It fits so well. The yarn is so beautiful. I've been having a little bit of trouble with my socks lately, not fitting as well because I changed my needles. So I'm still trying to figure out. I refuse to go above a 72 stitch count because I just am stubborn. And I want my socks to wear well, and I want them to be at a nice dense gauge, but I have a really, really wide foot. Surprise! I really don't want to go over 72 stitches. That's so hard. Maybe I just go to 74 and then pretend. Maybe that'll work. So anyway, so I've been having a little bit of trouble with my socks lately. But these fit magically wonderful. And really what I need to do probably is mostly they fit around. That's not the issue, is that I guess because I'm having length issues because I'm still knitting to the same length that I usually knit to, but because there is less stretch circumference-wise, they're getting shorter. You know what I mean? Like, because, does that make sense? Stretched out, they pull up a little bit more. I'm not explaining that well at all. But I think you know what I mean, right? Okay. So, there's that. And those are all my finished objects. Yes. I didn't bring over any of the socks I'm working on. I guess you'll see when they're done. If they ever get done. Really, I am working on like 2 different pairs of socks, but I didn't bring them over because I just spaced it. Here's the last thing I'll show you that I'm working on, and then we'll do prizes. I know you're waiting patiently. Okay, just a minute more. I am knitting this hat for my husband. It's the traveling rib hat by Danny Ouellette, maybe. This pattern was copyrighted in 2007, and I believe that is the year I bought it originally because it was before I knew about Ravelry, or maybe even before Ravelry existed. I'm not sure what the starting date is. But this pattern, while you can find the pattern itself on Ravelry, you have to purchase it through Patternfish. That's how old it is. Right? So I've made my husband 3 of these hats now. He loves them. They are a wicked pain in the butt to make. It's really not hard to make. It's just very time consuming. Here is his old one, which is like so sad. It's all felty. But what he likes about this hat is, no wonder he likes this hat. It's like super dense. I think this is like this is like a chunky wool knit to like a DK gauge. Like it's super dense, which is one of the reasons I hate to make them because it's such a pain in the neck. But he likes a hat that does not come down below his ears because he wears those earmuffs that go over the back of your neck. So he prefers his hat. He wants a hat, but he doesn't want it to be longer than this. Really? What a pain. I love him, blah, blah, blah. I like to make him like 1 hat a year. Or 2, one every 2 years. But anyway, so this is his old one. So I am making a new one. It is in my bag. This is Best Bags, the little snappy tape bags. This is from Java Jenny, which is Kitchen Counter Crafter, but it's javajenny.etsy.com. I love these bags for doing dos course because it just keeps everything tidy. And I am knitting this with Fat Squirrel fibers in the walnut base. That's the DK Superwash BFL. I said that in the completely wrong order. In the blue, medallion blue and rusted root colorways. And I'm knitting these on US 2s. I don't know which ones they are. 2.5 millimeters. So there we have it thus far. Just so slow. It's color work knitted flat. I love him so much. I've made him like multiple projects that are color work knitted flat. Really? If I made myself anything like that? No. So it's color work knitted flat. So it just is slower process because you can't Fair Isle it where you just knit with Like I knit with both fingers when I'm Fair Isling. But you have to do the like knit your stitches, put it down, pick up the other color, do your do, put down. It's also got some ribbing, well, it's ribbed, but it's traveling rib, so it's like cable-y rib. Isn't it? It's totally pretty though. It's very cute. So it'll be like this. That'll be perfect height. Yes. It better be. He's gonna have to change the shape of his head if it's not, because I'm not doing it again. So yeah, I haven't got a lot of knitting done. You would think on the way to Rhinebeck, which is like, I don't know, 58 hours in the car, that I would like knit a whole sweater. I'm not good at car knitting. I have to be careful, it makes me a little queasy, but really I'm just also not good at it. Like I knit a few rows and I'm like, and then I knit a few rows, I'm like, what I need to do, I think, next time is bring a more complicated project. I always bring an easy project because that's what you're supposed to do, but I think it's just too boring. I need to bring something more engaging. Okay, so that's all of the knitting and spinning and shenaniganing. Now we're going to do prizes. So if you're not interested in prizes or you didn't participate, then that's fine. We'll see you next time. But if you would like to hang around, we're going to do prizes now. What? Yes, that's right. Okay, so the deal with prizes is I'm going to tell you who won the prizes. And then if you won the prize, you have to PM me on Ravelry and give me your actual real live name, first and last, and your mailing address. That is your responsibility in this transaction. Are you ready? Oh my gosh, I totally just... I'm sorry. Okay. Well, how am I going to do this? I have already done the prizes because there was too many. And, I have to make sure you didn't cheat. Not that you would cheat. And quite frankly, I don't know that I care if you cheat. That's on you. But some people get a little bent. So, I do them ahead of time. Are you ready? Okay, let's do... Spinning seems to be the mostly on the top. Okay, so the first prize, these are in no particular order. Donated by the lovely creators of the Knotted Bag. This is her spinning bag. You can find her shop at etsy.com/shop or just /shop, sorry. / the Knotted Bag. You can't see it. Why am I showing you? But there it is. And she's super cute. I met her in the real life. So there's that. And the Knotted Bag prize goes to number 39. Are you number 39? You are if you're Ryan like Lion. Where's Catherine? And she spun some 100% camel. That's totally squirrel worthy. That's fancy. Okay, prize. And I'm going to try to clip through these. Watch me at 2 speed. It'll be entertaining for you, trust me. The next prize is Into the World from My Stash. This is the Squeak colorway, which is an 80% merino, 20% silk blend. You get 8 ounces. And this goes to number 37. Oh, by the way, I did the random.org for 2 through 54. So this goes to number 37. Who is Rose Bob Rose? The next prize is Godiva Yarns Falkland. This is colorway Falk 0930. And is not that pretty? Oh my gosh, right? I'll show you this side. What? She's in Florida. She does such good autumnal colors. Maybe she's a transplant. And this goes to number 14. Are you number 14? You are if you're a Candy Heart. And she spun some Three Waters Farm, which is great because that's the next prize we're giving out. Isn't that cute? I could have been fun if she would have actually won some Three Waters Farms, but it didn't work that way. The next prize is Three Waters Farms, which is donated by the lovely people at Three Waters Farms, which is their 100% BFL and the sorbet colorway. It's 4 ounces. Everything was 4 ounces unless otherwise noted. Isn't that pretty? This goes to number 11, Crafty Debbie, who did Rolex from Friends and Fiber. Look at all of her friends are showing up on all the prizes. Isn't that exciting? I love the folks at Friends and Fiber. They're super cute. And then the last spinning prize goes to... Oh my gosh, there's stuff flying everywhere. It's the Gale's Art. This is so stinking soft. I've got to spin mine up. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it's beautiful. When it's so soft like this, it's like the temptation. You're like, I don't know. Should I just do something very thick and just wear it here? Try to make it thin, fine, and beautiful. And I just don't know what to do. It's beautiful. But this is her 40% superwash merino, 40% merino, 20% silk in the fruity undertones colorway. And this goes to number 53. Who is the pattern whisperer? So Jerry from Texas. So all of you people, send me your dresses and whatnots. Okay. The next prizes are for the knitting things. There are some additional prizes in here that you haven't seen yet. Are you ready? Okay. The first prize. Let me dig for it. This is Query Fibers, donated by Query Fibers. This is her 10 stripe rainbow. 10 stripe rainbow. 75% nylon, 25%. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And this goes to number 164, Crafty Easy. Who knit a Magrathea? You won. Okay. The next prize. Why is this so hard for me? The next prize. Why did I not do this? From my stash. J-Wall Magic. From Lang Wools. This is a 6-ply. It's like a fingering weight. And it's 150 grams. That's what I was trying to get to. 420 meters. So it would make a nice big hefty shawl. And it's very lovely. So it's stash diving. I picked some pretty things. I was like, oh, so that's for you. And this one goes to number 77. Embroidery Queen, Nicole. Look at that. And by the way, these were prizes 2 through 281. Okay, the next prize. We're making it easier now. Bling Your String. Her project pouch from one of her project pouch of the month clubs. And this is her lions, tigers, and pigs. So you see how when you get a club, you get all these little fancy bits of extraness. Matching stitch markers. Did I mention that? Oh my gosh, she's so fancy. And this prize goes to number 114. Is it you? Mom, 2 boys, 76, shut up. Linda Lawrence for you. Yay, you won! Okay, the next prize goes, let's see, hazelnuts. Ooh, look how pretty this is. This was donated by one of our viewers who wishes to remain anonymous, but I love her face. Not just because she donated this, because I loved her face before that. So I've met it, and it's super cute. So this is, oh, I'm sorry, it's not hazelnuts. It's Woolen Rabbit. The Woolen Rabbit in, which base is this? The Pandora base, which is 70% merino, 20% bamboo, 10% nylon, 450 yards, fingering weight, in the Cracklin' Rosy colorway. Her colorways are so beautiful. So it's just like all rosy and beigey, but something like that. If rose and beige had a baby, that's what color that would be. So pretty. And this, which I have actually written as hazelnuts, that's going to so confuse me, goes to number 184. Snooze Down. Who knit a cashmere cow? Well, it was cashmere and wool. Sorry, Mom 2 Boys 76 knit the Albers cow, which is very pretty. She knit multiple things. In fact, most of you did. Good job. Okay, the next prize is Marigold Gin. These are, of course, in no particular order. This is how I pulled them out of the bag when I made the notes. And this is from my stash. I love Marigold Gin. Do you know how hard it was to give it this way? But it seemed so appropriate because it was pumpkin pie. And the holidays are upon us. So this is, oh, there's a past the pumpkin pie. Excuse me. So I'm passing it. See, it's appropriate. This is her sock weight, which is 75% BFL, 25% nylon, 464 yards. Isn't that beautiful? And so this prize goes to Sandery, number 124, which is Sandra, who made some lovely mitts out of Dancing Dog Dye Works. So squirrel worthy, right? I've never been had that. That's how squirrel worthy it is. So you get some Marigold Gin, equally squirrel worthy. Okay, next one. This is some more Query yarns. This is from my stash because I may have been gluttonous and bought way too much of it. Not because it's not beautiful, because I'm so selfish and I need to give some away. This is the Vincent and the Doctor colorway. 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina, 438 yards. And I knit, this is the same base I knit my mammal socks with. They were fireworks, and she loves them. So I have another colorway. It's almost the same. And that's for number 56. And Amy Loris, is that right? But anyway, she knit the Rena top, so that's you. If it's not you, I'm sorry. Yay! And the last prize. I am so sorry, I've lost the tag for it. But this is the Lollipop yarn in the Lazy Day colorway, which I can vouch for because I have socks made out of it and they're beautiful. Goes to number 45. Which is 4 kitties have I? I'm not even kidding you. And she knit some candy gore socks. Right. So even if I have your address because you're fancy and you've bought a bag or you sent me something because you're super nice, could you just send it in the PM in case? Because that way they're all together and I don't get confused. And maybe the message line could be prize or something like that. Would that work? Please do that. Please, prize! That way I don't get all confused. Because I may be slightly disorganized in my head. So can you believe all those prizes? Thank you again to all of our generous donors. Thank you again to all of our super awesome participants. If you have not looked at the prize threads, go over there and click some love buttons, people. They're closed, but click some love buttons. There's some beautiful stuff. Because you know why? Only talented, awesome people are allowed in our group. That's right. Only talented, awesome people. If you're talented and awesome, you should totally join the group and hang out with us. Okay, so I think that's all. I should probably stop talking because I feel like I just talked a lot about nothing, as usual. And I will see you next time. Have a lovely week.